Okay, this this trail is nothing new, but I don't know if I've ever gone over this particular bridge before, and since we're exploring, I thought I would start recording here because I did not start recording, 2 miles ago. Apparently I also did not reset the odometer, so we're gonna have to add 2 miles to the trip. Anywho, let's go. Oh, excuse me. I am still working with this damaged headset. The left earbud. Oh, this goes absolutely nowhere. Okay. This is probably why I've never done this. I guess we're turning around. All right. Yeah, so still working with this damaged headset. The left earbud has barely any sound to it. I went to the gym this morning and I toyed with the idea of just wearing one earbud, but I have noticed that the sound cancellation only kicks in if both earbuds are in proximity to each other, so I can't leave one in the case in my truck or in my house or anything. So, long story short, if the audio is off or it doesn't sound like it's in stereo or anything, it's because I'm still working with this earbud. I did contact the manufacturer for advice on if there's a way to fix it, reset it, what do I got to do? Because this earbud was designed, or marketed anyway, as activewear. So it's IP, I can't remember what it's IP, but it's supposed to be able to withstand heavy sweat, light rain, things like that. So I'm wondering if it's a water, like if sweat or water or something got into one of the earbud pieces or something, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, this has kind of happened in the past, but it's only happened a couple of times, like really sweaty, or if I go and sit in the steam room, which I don't do too much in the summertime. But yeah, usually I take them out, let them sit there for an hour or two, they dry out, and they'd be fine. And I was like, great, this is fantastic, love it. Because in the last couple of years, I've been through a few pairs of earbuds, and it's kind of annoying me. From cheap, simple $20 pair that, sound quality's not great, almost no bass to it whatsoever, but cheap and $20 always worked. And, if you lost them, broke them, or somebody stole them, who cared? $20, especially if they lasted a few months. The first pair I had lasted about a year. Loved them, had no problems. When they finally stopped working, because like I said yesterday, I am rough on earbuds. I will admit it. I wear them to the gym, I wear them on bicycles, I wear them out walking. I sometimes even wear them while I'm driving. If I'm listening to something and then I gotta drive, I'll just keep wearing them. Sorry, I'm looking around. The puppy's over there playing. But yeah, it was really frustrating to have them just stop working all of a sudden. So I bought the same pair because I enjoyed them so much, and for the price, who cared, right? Other than, waste. But again, I'm pretty rough on earbuds between the sweating and the activity and everything. Oopsies. So yeah. And I bought a new pair and they worked wonderfully too. Never had a problem. But I realized I was using the earbuds more often, not just at the gym. I was using them while I cooked, lunch or dinner or something. I was wearing them while I was, doing just mundane tasks because I wanted to listen to what I wanted to listen to without having everybody around me knowing what I'm listening to. Not that it's anything bad or anything. I'm just a private person. I don't like people in my business. It's, a me thing. If I'm watching a video or listening to a podcast, pardon me. If I'm watching a video or listening to a podcast, I don't want people coming in and listening and going, oh, what's this about? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. I just want to be able to listen in peace. So I started noticing I was wearing them more and more, which is why they're not lasting as long. I had Aftershocks, if you remember Aftershocks. They're now just called Shocks, but originally they were called Aftershocks, and my first pair were called Aftershocks. Air, I think it was, or Titanium or something. And I loved them, absolutely loved them. Were they bass heavy? Absolutely not. Were they light? Absolutely. Did they stay on my head? Absolutely. Were they water resistant? Absolutely. The problem I ended up having with them was I would go to... Sorry, I'm looking for the path up. It's been a minute since I've come this way. But, oops, excuse me. I said excuse me. Hi. I looked over and that couple was still staring at me. And I was like, I thought maybe they were mad or something because I rode past them on the bike and I was like, I said excuse me. But, whoops. ICE equals Gestapo. Trump's gay TARDIS? I don't know what that means. And I'm in too high of a gear to keep pedaling. Ugh. And going too slow for the pedal assist. But let's turn it down. And this guy's got a whole setup over here selling snacks and stuff. But we're not going that way. Nah, we won't go that way. We'll go this way. Excuse me. And there's my gear shifting. But now I don't need to shift gear. You know what? We haven't been up here. Let's go up here. Let's explore. The problem I had with the shocks, or the Aftershocks, was I had a habit of leaving them in my truck. And I had the little charging adapter in my truck, and I would just get out of the gym, I'd throw them on the charger, and that was it. Or, later in the afternoon, I'd throw them on the charger, that was it. Easy peasy. I think this is the road to Elitch's, because Elitch's is straight ahead. But I didn't see their stuff going this weekend, so they usually don't stop this early in the season. I don't know what's going on there. Like even now, there's not a lot of cars there, but it is Monday, but it's also a holiday. It's Labor Day. So yeah, today is September 1st, 2025. It is a holiday, and the park is not that packed, which is surprising. Because it's nice and cool. It's not too hot to stand in line. I say nice and cool, it's 75 degrees. But yeah. Anywho, this is Elitch's. There's a pool or something going, because they do have a little water park area, like a giant wave pool and some splashy things for kids. Huh. Anywho. Yeah, so what happened was apparently a couple of these days I was charging the battery on the shocks. Okay, so here are people coming in. I'm going to go because nobody else is coming. Alright, so this is a little bit better. I mean, it's still early. It's only 10:30 or 10:40. And we're going to get... I don't know if we can get out of here. I might have to turn around and go back. But yeah, good day to come. Not too hot, not too crowded. Absolutely. Great day to come. But yeah, it turns out you can't charge the battery while it's cold, which I learned by destroying a pair because they stopped taking a charge. They'd be on the charger for 8, 9, 10 hours and, be at 1%, 2%, which was quite annoying. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back out. This was a one-way trip, apparently. Or not a through trip. So, yeah, it was very frustrating. Let's go into here. Let's see what's under the bridge. Again, this is why we explore. yeah, so I ruined the battery. I called the company up and I, contacted their customer support, and they're like, yeah, that shouldn't have happened. Let's send you a new pair. You're going to have to send back the old pair. And I was like, absolutely. So they sent me a new pair. They worked great. I sent back the old pair, blah, blah, blah. A month later, same thing. Another cold spell came through, threw it on the charger without thinking about it, and wham. Suddenly had, no ability for the battery to take a charge. And that's when I opened the manual and I read the really, really, really tiny print in the back that says, do not charge battery if below like 30 degrees. And I'm like, well, crap. So I contacted the company again, and they were nice. I was wondering if there was a way I was going to be able to get out of here. They were nice. They sent me another pair. And they said, send your other pair back. And I said, okay. And then fast forward. I thought it would be cool to come down the middle of the street. But, so fast forward, I might be able to jump on the trail here again. And why are there so many dumpsters? Was there a party going on here somebody didn't tell me about? And is there a way down onto the Speer trail here? Again, this is all new for me. So maybe this goes down to the trail. This does go down to the trail. Okay, cool. Or at least it goes this way. Yeah, the company was very good. They were very nice and everything. They sent me another new pair. They said, send the other pair back. The manual said, don't charge below like 30 degrees, which I was like, well, that should have been up front and center, not tiny, like 4-point font in the back of the booklet there that looks like a dotted line instead of a, warning. So I was like, these aren't going to work for me if I can't charge them in my truck, because at the time they were just my workout headset. Oh, maybe it doesn't go down to the trail. Holy crap. All right, well, this didn't work out at all. There's some stairs that go back up to the road, but I'm not going back up to the road. So yeah, that's when I decided I was done with the shocks. I was like, yeah, you guys either have a battery problem or whatever, but yeah, if I can't operate these normally in Colorado in the wintertime, then they are useless to me. And I think I said that when I sent the last pair back. So I've been, I bought a couple of cheap, that one cheap pair, like $20 Chinese knockoff, no name, and they worked great. Had the same sound quality as the aftershocks or the shocks, and worked awesome. That is to say, a little tinny, but nothing severe. You're not gonna, just no like hardcore bass or anything. Looks like we're gonna have to go through town or something, which is fine. Because there's no way right here to get down to the trail as far as I can tell. So maybe on the other side, I can get to the other side. We'll do that. Looks like if I go to the other side, I might be able to jump on the trail. But yeah, so I tried the Chinese pair, I bought another Chinese pair, and then having had decent luck with the cheap Chinese pair, I bought a couple other little Chinese pairs that I was like, okay, well, I've had pretty good luck with the Chinese knockoffs. They're using the same technology as the name brand companies, they're just not charging you name brand prices. You can sell 4 for $200, or you can sell 10 for $100. But then I started having bad experiences. These don't work as well. These don't hold a charge. One of the left one or the right one stops working. Things like that. And I was getting very frustrated. So I went ahead and splurged and bought this pair. This pair is not super expensive. It's not like Beats or anything. But it was still, like I got them on sale on Amazon Prime Days or something for like $70 or $80 or something. Down from a little higher. I think they were like 20 or 40 bucks off or something. So that's the bridge I came over earlier. So that's where we're at. We just kind of took a detour, didn't really go anywhere. Almost got a bike like that. But again, I wanted to pedal, because that one's more just like an electric bike where you just throttle it. So yeah, and then because one company, I bought a pair of theirs Sound quality was great. It was still the bone conduction style, so nothing goes in your ears, because I don't actually like things in my ears, but they stopped working. That was one of the ones that, like, yeah, out of the 2 earbuds, only one would take a charge after like 3 or 4 times. So I did everything I could via the manual and the instruction booklet, and then I contacted customer support, and they're like, yeah, do this. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, do this. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, does it sound better? And I'm like, no, it still won't take a charge. They're like, oh, well, we have 2 options. We can either give you the money back or we can send you another pair. And I was like, well, when they worked, the sound quality was great. And I understand the statistics of probability on how badly things are manufactured. While I didn't pass the test because I couldn't remember the equations, I did take a 6 Sigma class, 6 Sigma Green. So I understand, like, the concept. Yeah, bad stuff's going to happen here or there depending on, see, she's got a nice bike. Seeing if, how everything's working out, how their manufacturing process and everything. So, even if they're at a Sigma 4 or a Sigma 5, there's going to be some bad ones out there, but what are the odds you get 2 bad ones in a row? So I said, yeah, send me the bad one, or send me another one. They sent it to me. Yeah, a few weeks later, same thing happened. I even tried mixing and matching them, setting them and rebooting them, like the 2 working ones together type thing, and they still wouldn't do anything. So I called the company again, and they're like, yeah, we can either give you your $20 back or, send you another pair. And I was like, I like the sound quality. They were comfortable. But, 2 randomly selected ones being sent to me, it just sounds like you have bad manufacturing on this particular model. I would rather get my money back. And guy's like, yeah, that's not a problem. Sent me my money back. No complaints whatsoever. I'd buy from that company again. Like, the customer service was better than anything you get in an American company. You call an American company, except for Garmin. Garmin has great customer service. But you call an American company, and you're going to be on hold for 3 days, and then they're going to tell you it's not their fault, not their problem. This Chinese call center, I don't know where it was, but I'm assuming they took calls for numerous objects. That's kind of cool, the covering over the bridge there. I mean, obviously it's a pedestrian bridge, but that's kind of cool. I never even knew that existed. Whoop. But, yeah, so I bought another pair. They were like $40. Same thing. They worked for a little bit and then they stopped working. I was very frustrated. The sound quality was not as good, but at least they charged. They weren't as comfortable, but at least they charged. And they held a Bluetooth connection. So I was like, okay, we're good. I can just use these for the gym. And then the Prime Days thing happened, because we're talking 6 months have passed over this amount of time. Then the Prime Day thing happened, and I was like, all right, well, I'll just go ahead and, because as much money as I've spent on replacing the cheaper ones, sounded like somebody was screaming from that drain. But I can't be sure because I'm wearing a headset. But we've come the other way on this path before numerous times. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it from this direction, so I'm glad you're able to see it. But I decided to splurge and get the $80 pair, thinking, if they last a year or 2, I'm in better shape than I was over the last, year in regards to replacing them. But sure enough, 3 months, 4 months later, because I'm wondering, I don't think I bought them on Prime Day, to be honest. The more I think about it, I think I bought them in May, and then they went on sale. They went on a bigger sale on Prime Day, because I remember looking, and I was really frustrated, because I tried to convince a friend of mine who works at a gym to get them, since she's up and moving all the time. I was like, yeah, they're wonderful. The sound quality is great. They're comfortable as hell. They're some of the most comfortable in-ear ones that I've ever had. But yeah, but now I'm having the problem. And again, I understand I'm rough on them, but don't sell them as a sport device and not expect people to be rough on them. You know what I mean? That's like selling a 4x4 truck and telling people you can't take it off-road. Or selling a sports car and telling people you can't rev it to 9,000 RPMs or 10,000 RPMs. So, here's that King Supers off to the right that we rode through the underground parking garage a few days ago. Maybe a week. So that's where we're at. We're just going this way. We may catch this at Broadway and go south, because that was the original plan. Oh. She was up there talking to somebody. Yeah, pretty blonde girl. Yelling at somebody on her headset. Eating yogurt, it looked like. So yeah. So we'll see what their warranty service or customer service, because I did buy the Amazon Asurion coverage for these. So I was like, if I'm paying $80, I'll spend the $10 to get 2 years of replacements or whatever. So I may have to sit down later today and see what I can do with that or how that works. Like, what process do I have to go through to get a replacement pair? So yeah, and I only bought it because I'd had such bad history with earbuds. But I was at Sam's Club about a week ago, and they do have the Shocks. I forget what it's called, the particular model, but it's the model that it's, instead of being one moon-shaped headset piece, it's 2 individual earpieces. I did put those on and hit the play button on the little display thing, and the sound quality, apparently they've done something in the last couple of years, because the sound quality was great. I mean, better bass, not in my ear, which I really like. Supposedly Shocks are actually built for athletes and people who go running and cycling and stuff, so again, supposed to be pretty water resistant. So I was like really close, and they're on sale right now for Labor Day weekend. They're only like, instead of being $99, they were $89. I think it'll be a better deal for Black Friday, because I know in the past they've had them down to like $79. So we'll see. A federal judge just invalidated Trump's tariff, so maybe some prices will come down here before Christmas, before Black Friday. But if not, like I said, I've had no problems with these whatsoever, other than in the last day, one side refuses to sound as good as the other side. Like, imagine you're listening to something in one ear at a sound level of, 8 or 9, and in the other ear it's like a 2. That's what I'm going through. But it still charges, still takes a charge, still shows up on the app as an available piece to wear. So I know it's still working, it's just not displaying sound. That's why I thought at first maybe it was just wet and needed to dry out, but it sat overnight in Colorado, where things usually only take like 15 or 20 minutes to dry. So that's where we're at. And I'll try and figure that out in the next day or two. Yesterday was Sunday. Saturday, I went down, I took my DSLR down to a friend's house, and we rode around their little town and did senior pictures for their daughter, which was cool. I've always taken pictures, like since high school when I got my hands on a real camera for the first time. I absolutely loved it. And I still like it. It's still fun for me. I think this is where I got to go up. So I've been I have to go through the photos that we took and parse out the good ones from the less than good ones. Ooh, you okay?
Oh my God. I need some water and I need to go 911 so bad. Brother of ours, please feel my ribs and stuff.
I'm not going to feel your ribs, but I'll call 911 for you.
Hey, brother, please, I don't even know what. he called down in the room.
Do you want me to call 911?
Yes, please, brother, please.
Okay, hold on.
You know I never did that, Marty.